Okay, good afternoon, everybody. We're off and running now. Very good. Welcome back, everybody. I guess I'm the one who's coming back. Most of you have still been here. So after a long delay, after I've been away for 2 weeks, Gryfflet is finally back. He's been hanging out here by this campfire in Lower Barnarvin, having solved some of their local problems last time. But hi, I'm Corey Olsen, the Tolkien Professor, joined as always by Gryfflet, and we are ready for some more action here in Dunland today as we continue to work through stuff here. I am not seeing anything happening in the chat right now, which I'm wondering if I've messed up somehow. Huh. Oh well, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Well, okay. No worries. Let's get off and running anyway. So, Gryfflet, let's see. We were finished here, and I think we're just headed over. Yes, we're headed over to the Gravenwood. Okay. That's where we're going. So where are we map-wise? All right, we're moving counterclockwise around Dunland here, heading up to the Gravenwood. Oh, I see what looks like an orc camp, which I will probably have something to do with. And, oh, there's the campsite right there. Okay. And then I've done Talmethedros mostly, or sort of. So, okay. All right, so Gryfflet, mount up and let us head over to the Gravenwood. Okay. Ethelwald says, "Can I look at the new Rovani? Oh, can you look at the new Rovanian camp in the Northern Mirkwood? You mean? I have heard great things about the new Northern Mirkwood expansion that is coming out, or the whatever it's called. Expansion might not be the right word. I am excited to see the Lonely Mountain and Dale done fully and properly." Okay. Marielle has a lore question for me right away. What do the wise in Gondor think Gandalf is? Faramir seems to know of his origin, but Denethor's no wizard's pupil seems even more petty if he knows wizard equals one of the gods from the west. Yeah. See, Druid's Fire, it's not an expansion, it's an update. I see, I knew that expansion was not the right word. Okay, so what do they think he is in Gondor? It's a really good question. On the one, I don't know. I mean, when you look at how Denethor and Faramir talk about, sorry, I was just looking up at the stars, which look really nice tonight. So when you look at Denethor and Faramir's comments about Gandalf the Wizard, or about Saruman even, they don't really give much away, right? I mean, that is to say, I think that most of what they say would appear to be, oh, hi. Ooh. You're an Ox Clan captain, huh? Should I take you seriously? Yeah, I'll get you. Anyway, so, they would be consistent with sort of the concept of the wizards being merely professionals, right? Which seems to be the earlier concept and the way in which most people think of wizards. Remember, the thing that I think of more than anything in regard to this is actually not anything that Faramir or Denethor say, but actually what Pippin says. You'll remember that it's when right after they get to Minas Tirith, and Gandalf has his first confrontation with Denethor, that Pippin is wondering, what is Gandalf, right? Who is Gandalf? Where did he come from? And it's like it never even occurred to Pippin to ask that question before. Oh, is the camp not up here? I was kind of hoping it was up here. This would be a cool place to have a secret camp, but I guess it's down there. Oh, fine. Oh, yeah, there it is over there. Okay. And I thought it was going to be, I was hoping it would be cunningly concealed up on the cliff tops, but no, it's uncunningly concealed down here in the valley. So Gandalf, or Pippin, realizes, in the Return of the King, right after having traveled with Gandalf and known him for many years, he only finally asks himself the question, hang on a second, who is Gandalf, right? When did he come into Middle-earth? What's up with him? He's not an elf. Like, it doesn't seem like he's an elf, and yet he's clearly has a longer lifespan than a man. He hasn't changed much in the 70 years, 70 to 80 years that hobbits that they know have known him much, and his relationship with the hobbits goes back further to the old Took. So, who is he? What is he? Pippin has never asked that. And I don't know what Faramir's answer to that is. He is clear that he is one of the great, that it's important, right? That he is, not, he but remember that when he's like, he's not just a lore master, but, one of the great movers of the deeds, like, he's not even really thought of that exactly. So I don't know, it's unclear. I don't get the impression that they think he's what he is, that they don't have a clear idea, like, this guy is from Valinor. Even Faramir's recitation of his names, of Gandalf's names, right, when Gandalf himself, it's clear from the fact that he can say that he can quote Gandalf in giving all of his names, or at least some of his names. It's clear that Faramir has asked the question, right? Who are you, Gandalf? In order to elicit the answer that Faramir then repeats to Frodo. And yet that answer doesn't seem to give much away. It certainly doesn't say much. And he says that Aloran I was in the West, right? But he doesn't say where in the West, right? He could be talking about Lindon for all he reveals, right? It's not clear what he certainly doesn't spell out who and what he is, and Faramir doesn't really seem to know exactly. But then again, at the same time, again, it's pretty clear that he's not just a normal guy. He doesn't age at the same rate as everybody else. There seems to be a lot of, sort of lack of suspicion about it. They don't know who he is. They should be able to figure out what he isn't. And the fact that, he doesn't seem to fit into any of the categories doesn't even really seem to occur to them. And that by itself is kind of interesting. And I'm not really sure what to do with it, frankly. I think that Denethor suspects. We know that he suspects Gandalf of plotting to, of wanting to be the power behind every throne in the West, right? So he sees Gandalf as a big-time meddler in events. But I don't think that necessarily equates to Denethor fully understanding, what he is exactly. But, so no, it's a really interesting question, Marielle. And I don't think I have a very clear answer to it, other than it's interesting to me that nobody seems to really ask that question. Or at least no one seems to have asked that question prior to the events of the Lord of the Rings. Anyway, all right, let's carry on here. We gotta keep going.
A small band of Rohirrim have come to the Gravenwood.
Amlon, do I know you, Amlon? Have I run into Amlon before? I'm not recognizing this ranger. Have I met Amlon? Somebody tell me where I know Emlon from if I've met him. I should speak with Cyrodion. Of course, I know Cyrodion, obviously. A small band of Rohirrim have come to the Gravenwood, and he is meeting with their leader. Oh, great. Okay, that sounds fun. Let's go meet some of the Rohirrim eventually. But first, there's a dark and lonely forest to cope with. Okay, when you first came to this place, you stumbled upon a party of Rohirrim scouts led by Theodred. Cool! They were attempting to creep behind the Dunlanding lines, but unfortunately for them, the Horse Lords are not the most cautious warriors. Right, yeah. Sneaking, not their forte. We helped them to sneak past their enemies and establish a camp. Cyrodiil remained with them, believing it to be our mutual benefit to aid them. Sure, yeah, Rohirrim, yeah, that's reliable. Their mission here might help us to regain Gwylion's trail. Right. Okay. You should head east at once to the Rohirrim. Who's Gwylion again? I'm totally forgetting. This was from the Llanook plot lines, right? Gwylion was... Who's Gwylion? Why am I forgetting? Is that the old woman of the... Is that the old woman of the mountain? Is Gwylion the old woman of the mountain? Okay, all right, hang on. Ethelwald tells me that Amlon is found outside the prancing pony in Bree in the shadows by the back door. Oh, well, that's why I don't recognize him. Eavesdropping on your conversation with Dobbs Sandheaver. It turns out that he apparently has an even bigger problem. Rather, Breeland will have a giant problem if nothing is done. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. All right, yeah, Amlon, I didn't remember him at all, so thank you, Ethelwald, for that. Right, okay, Gwylion is the old woman of the mountain, right, whom they're still trying to chase down, because we chased her off from where she was in the Enedwaith. Got it, right, all right. I should head east at once to the Rohirrim scout camp and join with Cyrodiil. Okay, take a whistle. Ooh. It is made to sound like the call of a bird not found here. If I sound it, Andreg will come. Oh, okay. I get to whistle up a ranger, huh? That sounds like fun. But what about this orc camp that's like right around the corner? Am I meant to do anything there? Do I get any quests for that? Well, let's whistle up a ranger and see what happens. There you go. Look at that. He comes with a quest to fulfill, at least one. Okay. You will set me on the path to Cyrodiil and the Horse Lords. Great. But first you need my assistance. I was hoping you would. Your mission in this wood is to scout for signs of Gwylion, the old woman of the mountain. Right. Your efforts have proven unfruitful as yet, but perhaps with your aid that will change, because I am very woodcrafty. Gryfflet is, absolutely. As we journey towards the south, towards the scout camp, perhaps I can help scout the forest. Sure, yeah. We'll look for signs of the old woman of the mountain. I don't know what those would be, but we will look for them. We stay along the north face of the southern hills in the South Gravenwood. Okay. Sure. All right, let's do that. And, oh, now we have more quests? Wait, okay. You thought you saw some strange form of corruption. Ooh, so is that the sign? So Gwylion leaves corruption in her wake? That's a big deal. Yeah, we should collect some samples. Okay, let's collect samples, Andreg. That sounds like fun. A grave corruption. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. A grave corruption. Is it? So... yeah. So can anybody tell me that orc encampment that I'm leaving up there? There aren't any, children in a bag up on that, in that orc encampment, are there? Because I'm not getting any quests heading up in that direction. So, Anyway, okay. But Thrash Death has a lower question. So, all right, Thrash Death, what do you have for me here? You recently read the Silmarillion. Great. That's great. And the last words state that the world grew old and gray to the firstborn and that the Noldor were departing. Are the Noldor exclusive to these temptations as only they are mentioned, or would all the elves have similar temptations considering their firstborn as well? Now, wait. Hang on. So Thrash Death by temptation. I need you to explain this for a second. The world growing old and gray to the firstborn, is you mean that as a, because I don't think it's exactly a temptation, but so are you asking, does the world seem old and gray to all of the firstborn or just to the Noldor? Is that the question? I want to make sure I'm understanding it properly. The desire to sail west. Okay, right. Yeah, got it. All right. Yeah. And the fading and diminishing that goes along with that if you don't sail to the west, right? Okay. All right. Wait a second. Kenyana says I should have gotten sent there from the town? Really? What did I miss? I totally did all the quests in the town. Hang on, Andreg. Wait. Or did I go there and not remember? I don't know. I think I did all the quests in the town. If anyone can remember anything that I missed, let me know. Meanwhile, Endreg and I are going to search for piles of oozing corruption, because that sounds like fun. Oh, hang on. Wait, there's more. In addition to piles of oozing corruption, I should also look for hounds, dusk hounds. Okay, they're a vicious breed of hunting dogs used by the Dunlandings. Okay, we should slay a few of them and lessen the threat they pose. Okay, all right. I'll keep an eye out for dusk hounds, as well as piles of corruption. Ah, see, there is one right there. Okay, okay, Thrash Death. Sorry, right, your question. But so, is it just the Noldor? No, it is not just the Noldor. It is all of the Firstborn, for whom the world is like... Oh, I forgot. I'm trailing I guess I'm trailing a ranger who can tank for me, so that's kind of fun. Boom! Ha-ha! Crit from behind. Take that. Andreth, don't you have any orc slaying quests that you could give me prior to our slaying a whole bunch of orcs? That might be convenient. Okay. What am I looking for? There was a hound. Wasn't there a hound? Did I just see it? Yes, I did. Hi there. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the elves. Okay. So definitely not. It's definitely all the Firstborn. Okay. When we think about this, remember that the fact that elves are fading and leaving the world, fading, diminishing, and leaving the world, is one of the fundamental premises of Tolkien's entire mythology. Okay? It starts, like the stories begin with that premise. In fact, I'm going to take a risk here. Well, hang on. Let me talk to Andreth first and then take a risk. Okay, what else do we do? Oh, Crabine! Excellent, yeah. Okay, the spies, vile creatures, corrupted by Saruman. Yeah, absolutely. Let's hunt some Crabine as well. Always happy to do that. Lost cause. Oh, that's unusually bad. Anyway, okay, so here's the risk I was going to take. I would say that the fading of the elves, the fading, diminishing, and departure of the elves in the, age of men is the very beginning. Like, that concept is the foundation of Tolkien's entire mythology. At the beginning, when Tolkien started, like which you can read in the Book of Lost Tales, in Tolkien's initial approach to writing mythology, he did a lot of what I call mythology of explanation, right? Like, how did, some current situation in the world, how did it get like this? Here is a mythological explanation for how that came to be, right? To give a simple example, the original story of Huon the Hound in the Book of Lost Tales is part of a myth of explanation for why dogs and cats hate each other. Like, why is it that dogs always go for cats when they see them? And the mythological explanation for why dogs and cats don't live together is usually given in the story of the fight of Huon the Hound with his original antagonist, Tevildo, the evil cat. Tevildo, who plays the role which will later be occupied somewhat more impressively by Sauron, as the jailer of Beren. But anyway, So, the point is, this is the kind of thing that Tolkien does a lot in his early days. Like, I'm going to take something that exists in the modern world, and I'm going to tell the story, the mythological story of how that came to be. Okay, now, like I said, the dog and cat thing is a really simple version of that. But the vanishing of the firstborn, the diminishing of the elves and their passing away into the west, is another example of that same kind of thing. It's a much more complicated example, but I would argue that it's fundamentally the same. Tolkien's mythology begins with traditional stories about elves, right? Why is England, in particular, full of stories of fairies and fairy actions? And there are all these stories that, like, you know, there's still this elvish influence in certain places, and you know, elvish magic lingers in some spots, and all that kind of thing, right? How did that happen? How did the current state of modern England come about, in which we have modernity moving forward under the dominion of men, and yet it still retains there are still these stories and memories of an older time when there used to be more elves, right? When it used to be common to meet elves in the forests. You don't meet elves in the forest anymore in the modern world, right? Why not? And why are there all these stories about people who used to meet elves in the woods? Remember, even in, like, to cite an important but funny example of this, is in Chaucer's Wife of Bath's tale. The Wife of Bath is not a very serious character, but even in the story, the Arthurian story that she tells, she begins her story by saying, back in the old days, there were lots of elves all over the place, right? And you used to meet them. There aren't so many anymore, right? Even the 14th century, when the Wife of Bath is speaking, is the modern era, right, to her. And even from her point of view, there aren't as many elves around as there used to be, right? So that kind of story. So it's not just that there are elf stories around, but one of the trends within these stories is that there aren't as many elves as there used to be. So that's kind of where Tolkien began. I think you could argue, this again is my bold statement, that the desire to tell stories that would explain that situation, why in the modern English world dominated by men there remain memories and stories of a time when elves used to be more prevalent than they are now, when there used to be more magic and that magic is fading out of the world. A desire to explain, to write a mythological explanation for how that state came to be is, I believe, what informed all of his story. That was the motive force behind all of his stories, and that was what they all led up to. In the original versions, the story of the Second Age moving into the Third Age, like the whole story of Numenor and everything, didn't exist. The War of the not the War of the Powers, War of Wrath at the end of the First Age, at the end of the Silmarillion, the First Age of the Silmarillion, that's the end of the story. After that, the Age of Men comes, right? It's after the War of Wrath that the elves leave. Most of them leave, and only a few of them remain, and those that do diminish. So it's designed to bring us to the beginning of, like, the modern world, right? Transitioning towards our time. Okay, hang on, Andrek, I was trying to get a new. I was probably just going to get the orc slaying quest from you, wasn't I? Well, my fault for not speaking sooner, I suppose. Anyway, Andreg, as you were saying, orcs. Yeah, I noticed those. Okay, yeah, let's slay some, just in case, we run across any of them. Orc mischief. Oh dear, there's orc mischief afoot. Okay, now we've got all kinds of things here. So we can fight you, and we can fight them. Okay, so Thrash Death, I think you can see now where I'm coming around to answering your question, right? It's why it's not a Noldor thing. The return of the Noldor to Middle-earth and the things that came across that came about as a result of their coming, and all of those stories are just part of the whole big picture, which is always ending, always was going to end with the departure of most of the elves, the diminishing of the rest. Initially, in the early stages, physical diminishing for them to be. That's how the elves become little like Tinkerbell. They've diminished. They used to be bigger, but now they're not. Before he just rejected that idea entirely. So anyway, it's and so that's the root, that's the foundation of things, and I don't see any reason to believe that he has changed that story. I mean, it's pretty clear that there will be plenty of elves who are not Noldor who will pass into the west, right? Look at Legolas, right? The sea longing is strong in Legolas. He's not Noldor. Right? He doesn't have any connection with the Noldor. So we can certainly see it in a few examples. We know that, Celeborn, he has a connection with the Noldor, of course. He married into them, but he is not himself Noldor, and yet he also is going to eventually seek the Havens. So yeah, it's pretty clear that all of them desire to seek the Havens, and that the Middle-earth is going to become not hostile to elves, but it's going to become a more human place, and all of the elves are going to diminish and need to leave. Madman Malor, make sure I come back to that. Thrashdeth, there's actually even more I could say in response to your question. I'll take a shot at that. Oh, wait, they're orc traps? Oh dear. Okay, we'll look for traps too. There's one. I see one. Right next to a tater. Oh, they set the trap with a tater. Oh, that is cunning. Oh, that is devilish cunning. Anyway, okay, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, Thrashdeth. Did I just get caught in the trap? Why am I frozen? I seem to be stuck. Why am I stuck? I'm stuck. Can't move. Oh dear. Haven't lost my link, have I? Can't imagine I have. Oh dear. Gryfflet is trapped. Any suggestions how I can get moving again? I'm stuck in the trap for a minute. Oh, I'm actually stuck. Okay, I see. I'm actually trapped. And now I'm getting loose. Okay, I'm panicking there for a moment. I'm like, what on earth? Okay, so how do I not let that happen? I disarmed that trap. Did I fail to disable the other one? What was up with that? Sorry. All right, panicking there for a moment. Okay. So Thrashdeth, my last quick answer. Tolkien suggests in some of his earlier writings again that there is something in both the air, like the physical air of Middle-earth, which is which changes. Like when the sun rises, it changes the atmosphere of the world to make the atmosphere of Middle-earth, hostile is not the right word, but less suited to elves. It's what makes them diminish. It's what makes them fade. That there's actually something, he doesn't explain the mechanism exactly, but that there actually is a mechanism, and it's the sun. It's about the sun, and it's about the actual air of Middle-earth. You may remember in the Silmarillion there are a couple references to the air of Middle-earth, which sound like metaphorical, right? But actually Tolkien meant them quite literally. At least he makes that clear in his earlier writings. He says less explicitly about the sun and about the air in the published Silmarillion, but I am not convinced that he changed that concept. I think it's just one of the things that he talks about less explicitly in the Silmarillion, but the concept is still there. Okay. Anyway, sorry. What did we do? Oh yeah, the traps. Yeah, I took care of the traps. Got caught in one. Really took one for the team there. Started to panic, but managed to be okay. New deed tracking an old goat? Oh, brilliant. She's goatish? Okay. I wasn't seeing the link there between the traps and her, but okay. No, so it's not about seeing the stars. It's about like the actual air that they breathe, and it's about the sun. Yeah. How exactly that mechanism works, he doesn't ever fully explain, but that's the correlation is made clear. Anyway, so sorry, there was another question. Another question. Hang on a second. Don't dwarves also diminish? Pontine, that's never explained. Yeah, it's never really indicated if they diminish or if they leave. They can't go to Valinor. So I don't know where the dwarves are meant to go. So no, I don't think the dwarves go away. Okay. So yeah, that. Natasha, I wanted to answer your question there. How do I think Aragorn would have reacted? What would he have done? Had Denethor survived and refused to surrender rulership of Gondor post-War of the Ring? Ooh, that is an ugly thought, isn't it? Had Denethor survived, what would Aragorn have done? I'm not sure that Aragorn himself would have had to do anything exactly. Where did he go? Where did that ranger go? Oh, down there. He found a dust count. Clever ranger. Here's what I mean. I'm not trying to cop out from the question when saying that I don't think there's anything that Aragorn need necessarily have done. What I'm talking about, what I'm referring to is the acclaim of the people, right? I mean, if we assume that most everything plays the way that it did, right? So everything that happens in the Battle of Pelennor Field plays out the way that it happened in the Battle of Pelennor Field, right? And so Aragorn arrives catastrophically on the field of battle, and also he does his bit in the House of the Healing, the House of the Healing afterwards, right? Saving Faramir's life. Again, this is in the alternate universe in which Denethor doesn't go crazy and try to kill his son. So we have Faramir in the Houses of Healing where he really should have been all along. And Aragorn comes and heals him, and Faramir acknowledges him. Faramir recognizes him and knows the significance, right? As soon as Faramir becomes conscious, he knows that Aragorn is the rightful king. So if in this scenario, in our theoretical scenario in which Denethor doesn't die, he were to attempt to retain the throne for himself, or the rulership for himself, and to deny Aragorn, I gotta think that Faramir would be against him, as would like most of the people, because they have seen him and they have acknowledged him. Eorth is still going to be convinced, right? And so is her, cousin from the countryside. So no, I mean, but seriously, I mean, he's everybody acknowledges him. It's fairly popular. It's a fairly popular theory that Aragorn is the king. So Denethor would have to do two things, right, to try to maintain his power. He would have to first simply pit his authority against Aragorn's, right? Say I am your rightful ruler, and I've been your lord for all of your lives, and and I say that this guy is an upstart and not the real king, so believe me and not him. So he'd just have to pit his authority and his credibility against, Aragorn and everything. But like after the, but when you combine the testimony of the folks who are healed by him, including Faramir himself, with like the testimony of the people from Pelargir who come up and are like, yeah, he totally like rallied the Oathbreakers who swore the oath to Isildur because he's the heir of Isildur. I mean, for Denethor to try to maintain the case, to try to prove that Aragorn isn't who he is, he's offered lots of proofs about who he is at that point. And it seems like he would just have to be fighting against him, right? He would just have to be calling on people to remain loyal to him and to reject Aragorn. And I don't think Faramir would do it. I think that Faramir would be against him. I don't think Faramir would raise his hand against him if he could possibly avoid it, but I think that Faramir has too much integrity to deny that Aragorn is the king. So yeah, I mean, I think it would be ugly, but it would primarily be ugly for Denethor, and I don't think that Aragorn would even primarily be the one to have to try to rally the people. Nitesh's wondering, could Aragorn play a waiting game, kind of go to the North Kingdom, wait until Denethor is dead and come back? I don't think so. I can't imagine Faramir being okay with that. Faramir or a lot of them. I couldn't imagine Faramir. I couldn't imagine Imrahil being okay with that. I can't imagine Éomer being okay with that. I mean, Denethor, even if Aragorn were like, this is not right, but to keep the peace, I shall leave. I don't think that's likely to turn out well. I don't think that they would accept. I don't think the people of Gondor as a whole would accept him. And I think that Aragorn would have to know that in leaving, in taking off and leaving Denethor in command, on the one hand, it might seem that he was, doing Denethor a favor and trying to prevent strife and, any kind of struggle for the throne or something like that. And yet he would be leaving behind a kingdom not at peace, right? Because there would be a lot of people who would be very dissatisfied with Denethor, who could never, obey Denethor the same way again, because, they knew that he was unfaithful to his own principles. Remember, Faramir is relating what Denethor himself always told Boromir about how in Gondor, it would, take 100 centuries for them to call a steward a king, right? So he has preached his whole life the importance of how in Gondor we don't do it that way, right? We don't just seize power for ourselves. We are the stewards. If there was every reason to believe that the real king had returned and he had turned him away, people aren't going to follow him, right? There might be some loyalists, like the servants who brought him the fire, but most of them wouldn't. And I think if Aragorn just left and tried, in a desire not to cause strife would come. So I don't think that there's any kind of good solution that way. Woohoo! Look at Gryfflet leveling up. Level 72. How about that? But you guys have seen Gryfflet come a long way. It's kind of fun. Kind of fun looking back over the whole thing, Looking back at Gryfflet's journey from character creation all the way here through level 72. Pretty much every minute of which has been live on screen. I don't think I've done anything except some crafting and inventory management with Gryfflet off stream, so cool. All right, now Ethelot, I think, was asking about the Rovanian map. Can I get to the Rovanian map? Ooh. Huh. This one? Is this one you mean? This one we're talking. Okay, this is it. Okay, all right. Let's see. What do I think of this? Well, Mirkwood looks about right. Dol Guldur. So this brings us to the old Mirkwood map, right? Rosgobel. Yeah, got the Narrows and the East Bight. Sure. The Mountains of Mirkwood in the middle. Absolutely. That's right. Beorning Lands. Yes. Gladden Fields. Sure. Vales of Anduin. Gundabad. Grey Mountains. Erebor. Dale. Iron Hills. River Running. Oh, that all looks good. Yeah. Uh-oh. I hear that, what's his name? My ranger friend is in combat again. Yeah, I like it. I'm not sure. Style's a little different, isn't it? But, hey, we even got a peek of the Withered Heath up there. Yeah, that's great. Oh, hang on, wait. I can zoom in. Ooh, okay. Hang on a second. Darn it. Oh, it's just a Krabon. Okay. Okay, Ravanian. Where was I? Here we go. Okay. To the fields of the Kelduin. There. Aaron, Hlaskin, and the Dale Lands. Okay. Erebor. Dale. To the Iron Hills. Oh, we got that one too. There's the Long Lake and Esgaroth. Esgaroth of old. Nice. We've got the piles of the old town. That's sweet. Oh, Esgaroth of old and modern lake town. Cool. Ravenhill. Way down there. We've got the mountain is huge, right? But that's okay. This is the Forest River winding its way. Windy, windy. We got the Beorning Lands over there. The mountains down here. And Felagot's, we got the Elven King's Realm here. Ooh. Okay. Oh, this is exciting. The feast halls, the gardens, sure. Yeah. Chamber of Thranduil, why not? The entry hall, where's the barrels? Yeah, there's the cellars. There's the river gate. Okay, right next to the dungeons. Good, good. I like it. I like it. Okay, wait. Oh, hang on. I went too far. Let's see. What else did we get? I can... Oh, Beorning Lands. Oh! Disappointing. Is that going to do that to me, the Iron Hills, too? Yes, it is. Okay, so we don't have those. But we have a promissory note of the Iron Hills and of the Beorning Lands. And the fields of Kelduin. Yeah, it's another promissory note right there. Okay. So, yeah, so we're going to be able to go down south of the Long Lake and down around by the East Bight. Okay, so this would be like back in the old kingdoms, the old, you know, like where Vidugavia and all of them were in the past and stuff. Okay, I can get behind that. Cool. Yeah, this is sweet. This is awesome. Neat. I wonder when Gryfflet will get there. Me too. And I wonder if Gryfflet will get there before Wigand. He's certainly on pace to get there before Wigand at this point. Poor Wigand. It's been frozen about 1,000 XP shy of level 93 forever. What am I looking for? I'm still missing, what, a Duskhound? Come on, where are the Duskhounds? I didn't find any piles of corruption. That's a severe disappointment. I have to go hunting for those, but... Hang on. Duskhounds? No. No. Alright, just orcs. Where's the... Hang on a second. I want to put them on the map. Where am I? Gravenwood. Get the grave corruption. The eyes and the... Oh, this is the overall. Right. Okay. Okay, so where are the... Alright, let's head back down towards where we get the rotten stuff. And I'll see if I can find any Duskhounds between here and there. Oh, here's one. Hark. Okay. Cool. Okay. So thanks, Ethelwad, for pointing out the map. So it's open now? We can get there now? Is that what the update was on Monday? Oop. Here, give me that sweet Duskhound XP there, Andreg. Alright. There are now fewer Duskhounds than there were before we killed them. Oh, I forgot. I'm running with an NPC who's going to run straight through them. Alright, try to stay with me, Andreg, as we go looking for piles of oozing corruption. Ah, you're in Dale right now, Hologrow? That's pretty cool. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well, maybe I'll take Wiggin up there at some point. He should be able to survive. He can survive in Mordor, and I mean briefly, and even respawn in Mordor. So, you know, that's cool. Okay, so maybe that means theoretically I should be able to respawn in Northern Mirkwood too, right? Oh, maybe I'll get a chance to check it out. Okay. All right. Take him out, Andreg. Boy, Andreg, you're taking him out slowly. Good grief. Leave you to your own devices for just a minute. Oh, hang on. No. You're not the quest arrow I'm looking for. I want to go down to the corruption. Ooh, look, backpack. Dale's all level 115. Right, yeah, but so is Mordor. Isn't Mordor 115 as well? Thought it was. Okay, all right. Looking for piles of oozing corruption. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Pile of oozing corruption. But hark. What pile of corruption doth ooze? Ooh. Seriously nasty. Oh, it's got those those like cancerous globule things like we saw in the fungus down in Moria. Oh, man. Get your biohazard bags out there, Gryfflet. Well, why don't we leave Andreg to kind of occupy himself for a little bit. He'll have fun with that orc, who probably won't kill him. And that'll leave me free to pursue more oozing corruption without drawing the attention of every mob in the region. Okay, I need 8 of these things? That is nasty. Who needs that much ooze? It's like, but did you get enough pustules? Okay. Oh, I was kind of hoping to hide behind the tree there, but of course that didn't pan out. Yeah, Nitesh, I agree. Tharbad, and ZS Gamer, that's absolutely. Tharbad is one of my big hopes. I would love to see Tharbad. I would love to be able to travel all the way from the Gap of Rohan up to Bree. I'd love to be able to just follow the Greenway from beginning to end. I mean, how cool would that be? How cool would that be just to ride from Gondor to Fornost on the Greenway, right? I mean, that would be so cool. Okay, oh, you know, that's honey. That's not quite the same. Don't get your honey mixed up with your oozing corruption. That would be bad. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, I agree. I agree, Nitesh. I'm all ready to sign the complete the Greenway petition. I have to admit that, you know, in addition, you know, so I have many demands. I won't say demand. Hang on, I need to. Was it the dark and no? It was this one, wasn't it? Which one's the whistle? Oh, there's the whistle. I gotta get my ranger back. There you are. Okay. It should be enough. Yeah, I hope that's enough corruption for anybody. Okay. So now I just go back or go on to Cyrodiil. Oh, completed tracking an old goat. Scouted the path. Look at this. I've done all the things here. I'm getting points. I'm completing deeds. Oh, it's a deed, right? A goat deed. Okay, tracking an old goat. Got it, right? So completed all the things. There, that's good. I got all kinds of legendary issues. Oh, I've maxed out my sword. How about that? What level is my sword at? 65, yeah. It's about time for a new sword anyway. Yeah, I know it needs to reforge. And then... oh, quests in the Grove. I've still got bunches of quests. Oh, right, yeah, probably Cyrodiil's got some for me. Okay, so now I gotta go back to Cyrodiil. Alright, Andreg, try to keep up. Try not to get distracted. Okay, let's see. Would it make sense for the Greenway to be completed when the epic reaches the point where the hobbits return to the Shire? Ah, Phil, there you go. That's thinking. Right? That's proper thinking. Sure, yeah. Then we can go back up that way. Sure. Sure. I mean, chronologically, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, no, Druid's Fire, I think they have to do a phased Shire for the scouring. But I don't see any reason they can't do that now, right? Okay, why does Andreg have a quest ring above his head, but he doesn't have a quest ring? Like on the mini-map he's got a quest ring? I'm like being pursued by a quest ring, but there's no quest ring there. Anyway, where's the road? Oh, here's the road. Oh, look, a named dog. How about I go around the named dog for now? Oh, sure. No, Andreg makes a beeline for the named dog. Oh, Andreg. What a nuisance. Yeah, so no, I mean, that they're going to do the scouring of the Shire is, like, that's not even a question. The scouring of the Shire is obviously going to happen. And, I mean, I remember, it was one of the first things I remember hearing Chris Pearson talk about the very first time I ever met him was that he was looking forward to Lotro being the first ever depiction of the scouring of the Shire, because it's always been skipped in every adaptation of the Lord of the Rings that's ever happened. So yeah, I mean, I know they plan to, I know they would like to. And now with phasing, I think that they're able to do it in ways that they couldn't have done before. So let's see. We've seen strange things on this path, and strange things are a good sign that Gwillian has come this way. Okay. All right. I have been of great aid. Very good. Okay, good to see you. Thanks for your help and for getting me into lots of trouble along the way. Okay. I'm going to go talk to Cyrodiil, and there you sick the stupid named dog on me again. How about I lead him into the... Oh, boy. Fine. I'm not scared of you, stupid named dog. Yeah, so when we do get to the scouring, Pontine is saying that your guess is that we might see the South Farthing. Yeah, that would be great. I would love to see the South Farthing. Yeah, it'd be very good to get that completed as well. Okay. All right, come on, Gryfflet, you got this. Put this dog down again. Move on to the white hand dude. Okay. Wow. All right, so where are we going? We're too far south here. Oh, right. Okay, I see where I am. Mount up. Oh no, I found an evil object. Oh dear. A crudely crafted object bears the icon of some kind of horned animal. But it's an evil horned animal. Oh dear. Have I mentioned how much I hate quest items that drop in loot? Ooh, burglar's tools. Okay. Hey, look, I only got like 4 of them. That's something. I'm multitasking ineffectively here. Ineffectually here. Bring the evil object to Cyrodiil. Okay. I'm kind of trying to get there. Hey, look, there's Cariana waiting for me. Very good. That you're starting to wonder if I made it here.
Your aid is welcome, friend.
Now she's serenading the stable master. Okay. Okay, hi there, Rohirrim Scout Camp. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I get to meet. There he is. Excuse me, laugh word, like no offense. And Cyrodiil, I've met you lots of times before. Theodred. Yes, I think so. Let's see, what do we have, Theodred? Oh, looking good. You notice what Theodred does not look? And that's young, because he isn't. Theodred's like 40 at the time of his death. Oh, okay, I see. I was like, why does he have a brain on his belt buckle? But it's not a brain. There are 2 horse heads with a white background, which makes it look like a brain. But that's fine, Theodred. You're looking excellent here. Very serious. What are you looking at? It's like nothing up there, man. But, anyway, okay. Oh, wait. Did I have another one? Kenyana? Hang on. Let me look. I got some quest objects. Or I got some crafting objects, I mean. Nope. Nope. Just the one. Well, I mean, replicas of the evil object, but hey, Cyrodiil. Okay, what do we have? We have a dark and lonely forest.
Greetings.
Okay, there's great evil afoot. Sure, nightshade jacket. Huh? Oh, ooh, this is actually an improvement. So I might actually equip this, but no, the nightshade jacket. I'm not feeling it cosmetically. Yeah. No, I don't like it. I like my current much better. How about the boots, though? No, boots are not as good. Okay, so I'll keep the jacket and put it on, but I'm not going to equip it cosmetically. Let's do that before we forget. So much junk in my inventory still. Okay. All right, but anyway, Cyrodiil, we're talking about something else. Oh, yeah. Friends in the Gravenwood.
What have you learned of the Dunland clans?
What have I learned of the Dunlanding clans? Lots, actually. There's a good deal of unrest, and there's some very mean people who are being mean to others. And there's this whole Boar clan revival movement that's going on, which is quite stirring, actually, and which I'm in full support of. And because, in particular, I have to admit, that one of the fringe benefits of being part of this whole Boar clan revival movement is that it could get you in on some boar bathing activity, which looks like a lot of fun. Giving boars baths, it's hard to see how life gets better than that. So I really want to I want to get a boar so I can bathe it. If I could have that, by the way, I would like to have that as a lawn item at my house, a big water tub with a boar, like that boar who was like thrashing around in happiness, looked like he was enjoying his bath just a little bit too much, right? Like, I would love to have that in the lawn of my house. That seems like, not too much to ask, right? Okay. Anyway, let's see. My journey through Dunland for Hugh Brennan is almost at its end. Yeah. Okay. Saruman's influence is greater than we thought. No, it's actually a little lesser than I thought, I have to admit. It's good that I sought to help the people to resist them. Yeah. This man is Theodred. I know, right? The son of the king of Rohan. And he's still alive. Wow. He has crossed into Dunland with a small party on a similar mission to see what is happening in the heart of Dunland. Well, I have news for him. Yeah. Oh, hang on. There's more. Oh, yeah. There's an evil thing. I found an evil thing. Oh, wait. You've seen this symbol before. You're not sure what it's supposed to represent, but it reminds you of some of the demons that Gwillion summoned against us in the Windfells. What, like the ghosts? No, the goats. The demon goats. Oh, yeah. That's probably it. Okay. Iron Ring, huh? I'm not thrilled. Okay. All right, so that's good. A peace-shattering silence, you say. Okay, when you and your companions first came here, you noticed almost at once a queer stillness. Okay, there was undoubtedly a foul presence at work here. Let's track down this Gwillion. She escaped my clutches once before, and I've been chasing her all the way from Enidwythe. Okay, we've been unable to find the source. There are two trees, one to the northwest and one to the southwest, which were clearly once used in some Dunlanding ritual. One is called the Mustering Tree, for it's where the forces of Dunland gathered to go to war against Gondor. The other is called the Tree of Tribute, for a brave warrior stood alone against a strong force of their enemies and sacrificed himself to allow his clan to escape. Oh, that's cool. Okay, search for the places, follow the signs, and then when I've discovered the source of evil, return. Okay, that sounds good. I'll discover the source of evil in the Gravenwood. Hi, Theodred. Good to meet you at last. And still alive. Here we go.
You run errands for folk long sworn to be the enemies of my people.
I run errands for folk long sworn to be the enemies of your people. Well, that kind of puts our relationship off to an awkward start, doesn't it? Don't think of me. I would hate for you to just think of me as a Dunlanding scout. After all, the, Rangers were, like, doing chores, and you should have seen it, Theodred. It was actually kind of funny because, they never do anything, and there they were, schlepping wood and stuff around and gathering. It was fun. It was really neat. But anyway, so no, this is strategy, Theodred. We're trying to see there's some people who are not really your enemies, except they kind of are, like the Stag Clan that still celebrates rituals about, annual celebrations of how you oppressed them. Never mind. Moving on, Theodred. It's been a long time since the Dunlandings crossed into my father's kingdom with design of conquest. Without the urging I fear Saruman is giving to them, they would not have the courage to do so again. Right? The wizard has done my people a great wrong with this, and he must pay for it. Yes. You're making me uncomfortable, Theodred. My men and I forded the Isen and came by animal paths into this wood. That is where we encountered Cyrodiil and learned of his mission. Okay, yeah, no, hey, I'm happy to help, Theodred. Always happy to help.
We are all ill at ease in this forest, and your ranger friend here is not the reassuring sort.
No, he's not very reassuring. Your men have reported feeling a watchful presence, right? Yeah, no, I already told Cyrodiil I'm going to get to the bottom of this for you. You've heard that Saruman can move about? Well, maybe, but I don't know. If I oppose the wizard, he did pop up at the auction, which was fairly unexpected. Maybe he's sneaking around the Gravenwood. One of these places is a gnarled tree. The other is a camp of Dunlendings far to the north, Uvil Cadlus. I should go there and see if I feel an evil presence? Okay. Seems kind of squishy to me, but I can do that. Ooh, but I might not have time to do that this week, as it's just about time to go. I got to pick up my kids. Snow day yesterday, but we're back. Got about 18 inches of snow up here. So yeah, we had a snow day yesterday, but kids are back at school here today. Okay. Yeah, I think I should probably not go. Well, let's find the... Because we're looking for... tree. Let's go to the tree. Let's find the tree. I have time to find the tree. As we're trying to get to the bottom of spooky things in the Gravenwood. Is this the mustering tree or the tree of tribute? Let's stealth ourselves, shall we? Okay. Let's see. I saw the giant tree from a distance before. Oh, can't see anything right now. Oh, that looks like a giant old tree. Oh, a corpse. Hang on. Pause while I loot the corpse. I am a burglar. Okay, thanks for that. It's the mustard tree. The mustering tree. I found nothing of import here. And on that anticlimactic note, I feel no presence either. Okay. In the total absence of anything interesting, I will sign off. Boy, that's kind of a downer. Do I go north or do I go south? I think I'll go north. Okay. I still got a couple minutes. I'll make my way north. Wow, lots of treasure in this wood. There's a backpack over here. The tree is really neat. I agree, Nitesh. It's, you can see how ancient it is, right? You see this, this huge, enormous trunk, and most of the tree has died and broken away. But then we've gotten, like sometimes how you get the new growth growing out of the stump of an older tree, but then even those newer branches have become old, right? So you get this sense of this amazing antiquity of this tree. I think it's pretty neat. Okay, another corpse to loot. Gryfflet is being burglarious apart from not actually thieving from anybody. Why don't we do that? Let's see. Hang on, little burglarious action here. Right, and I must face target. Hang on, I couldn't see the target. There was tall grass in the way. Oh man, he saw me. How horribly anticlimactic. Great job stealthing, Gryfflet. Alright. Back to the north you go. Guess you could follow the road. Okay, no, that's a crow. No pockets to pick. Alright, we're getting there. Oh yeah, there's a skirmisher up here. Let's see, where is he? Here we go. Let's sneak up behind him. Here we go. And burgle. Oh, fail. Lame. Come on, Gryfflet. Okay. All right, and there's that camp where I'm supposed to see if it's a dragon clan camp, clearly. And here I stopped at the stable master. Yes, I did. Okay, all right. I think Gryfflet will have to wait here with this horse. So this horse and I will hang out, and we'll wait, and we'll go into that camp next time. All right. Okay. I better run. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today. So great to be back with you guys again. I will be here next week, so I look forward to saying I should be here for the next few Fridays, at least next 3 or 4 Fridays in a row, I think. So that'll be good until I head out to England for London Moot in April. But yes, it's true. As Druid's Fire is just mentioning, I'm definitely planning to come to the Lotro DDO meetup with Cordovan at PAX East. That's gonna be cool. So that's the first weekend of April in Boston. So looking forward to getting to meet and hang out with some people there in Boston as well. So yeah, pretty cool. And London Moot, right, Ethelod? I mean, come on, London Moot, April 28th. Join me. Anyway. Thanks, everybody. I will see you guys next week. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.